How's it, folks? For those of you who aren't aware just yet, EXPCALIBUR II is in Dying Light the Beast, and in order to collect it, you will need to go on a bit of a scavenger hunt, finding 8 different sigil stones scattered around the countryside. Most of them can be reached irregardless of where you are in the story. However, there is one location that I would have near the end of the video that you'll only be able to reach as part of the main story questline. So obviously there is a bit of a spoiler warning to go with that one, but it's pretty obviously placed, so it shouldn't be too hard to find that specific sigil stone. Once you have all 8 of them, you'll need to climb a very large rock and place the sigil stones around the sword. Then summon the sword. You'll get a little surprise, deal with the surprise, and then just like how it was in Dying Light 1, you're going to need to hold the interact button until you're able to pull it out. So you'll need to keep your finger pressed for quite a while. And when you pull out the sword from the stone, you'll get the blueprint for it as well. You will need to upgrade it 2 more times to get it to legendary level. But it's nice that both the upgrade costs and the crafting costs to make them don't actually require any rare materials. You only need scrap, wiring, blades, and leather, I think. So you should be able to have one on you at all times as long as you have the blueprint. Ignoring the base damage stat, which will change depending on what level you are and what level the weapon is crafted at, the sword also comes with plus 20% damage during the night for melee weapons, plus 15% stamina regeneration speed, as well as plus 10% XP gained. So very similar to the previous version of the EXPCALIBUR, but you aren't able to add any weapon mods to this. You got to take it as it comes, basically. And you can't repair it, so when it runs out of durability, you are going to have to craft a new one. And now that I've waffled enough about the sword itself, let me show you the different locations where you'll find the sigil stones. Once again, you can get to all of them pretty easily except for the last one, which will require you to reach a certain milestone in the story. A couple of the other ones are involved with quest locations that will take you either there or nearby, but you can also collect them at any stage. So let's start off with the first stone of sacrifice. This you will find in the arena out in the countryside. If you just come to this pillar at the back, it should be on the wall facing the inside. Pretty easy to pick up. The second sigil would be in a little stone hut just above the fireplace. In order to reach this hut, you will need to basically follow the water when you get close to this location and keep going down until you get the hut. There are a couple of infected wandering around, but pretty easy to deal with. The third stone, or the void stone, will be probably the hardest to find if you don't have a guard, and that will involve going over to these waterfalls. You want to go to the second waterfall, just higher up slightly, and then you will see this little opening to the right. Go inside the cave. And then to the left of the little investigative letter note, you'll find a dark pool of water. You need to dive into the pool of water and swim downwards in the pitch darkness. Just spam your survivor sense until you pick up the void stone. The fourth stone will be the moonstone. This will be in a nice little garden clearing. I'll show you the directions from the waterfall because you may get lost trying to find it because it's kind of a little bit off the beaten path. You'll need to follow these stone steps up quite a way. And then once you get high up, you'll find this little broken wooden fence. Follow that until you come through a little hole in the stones. Until you come into the little hole in the wall. Go through that, and then once you're in this little clearing, head to the right and you'll find the sigil stone. Also, just spam your survival essence when you're in here, because there's a couple of poppies, lavenders, chamomile, some honey and whatnot, some crafting reagents in this little clearing. The fifth stone will be the death sigil, and this will take you into the old town. You just need to go into this undercroft, and it will be on one of the grave headstones. The sixth stone, or the blood sigil stone, will be on the island asylum, and if you head towards this little statue with a little bit of a water feature surrounding it, the sigil stone should be on the face of it, just above the water. And then the seventh stone, or the cursed sigil stone, will be near this weird looking tree in this clearing area. You'll need to go down and find the skeleton, and the sigil stone should be in the mouth of that skeleton. Last spoiler warning. Alright, the eighth and final sigil stone, or the shadow sigil stone, will be inside the exile's cave. You just need to, as soon as you enter the cave, just keep running forward a bit, turn to the right, and then it should be on the ground pretty close to the entrance of the actual cave. And then once you've found all 8 sigils, you'll need to head to this massive rock face, and then you'll need to follow this path up to climb to the top of the rock face. Once you've reached the top, place all of the sigils down, and then keep holding the interact button until you get the option to loot the sword. And then finally, the EXPCALIBUR II will be yours. I hope you found this little guide helpful, and I will have more videos coming out about different weapons and secrets that you can find in Dying Light the Beast. Otherwise, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care, and cheers for now.